everybody, I hope you're doing well and welcome to the platform of CodeChef. So today we're gonna be solving the problem access granted. The difficulty level for this problem is easy and the prerequisites require are your basic number theory. So this is your educator Ansh and I hope you like my video. Let's proceed to the problem statement. Okay, now let us try to understand the problem statement. So since the price of bitcoins is rising day by day, the team of four businessmen who have purchased some bitcoins in 2009 decided to sell them because they think it's the right time to sell their business. The problem here is that they forgot the password for the Bitcoin account, but they know the algorithm to find the password. The algorithm is as follows. Each businessman will choose two numbers, but condition here is that second number should always be less than or equal to first number. Now they have to subtract the second number from the first till they get the smallest possible non-negative integer number. Suppose the first number is 7 and the second number is 2, then we will keep on subtracting second number 2 for 3 times. We will left with will be 1, which is the smallest non-negative integer. Okay. Now after each businessman finds the smallest non-negative integer, all of them add their smallest non-negative integer. And now if this addition is a composite number, then they successfully got the access, else not. So basically, the question is saying that we have to find whether the four people got the access for the Bitcoin password or not. In order to do so, what they do is every number. So let me just demonstrate you this four steps on this sample test case. So consider my each and every number here. So my 10 will be go with 5. So each man will choose two numbers. So one number chosen is 10, one number chosen is 5. Then they'll keep on subtracting 10 until we get a smallest possible non-negative number. So basically, I will keep on subtracting 5 from 10 until I get the smallest non-negative integers, right? So I minus 5, which is 5, and again I can minus 5, which is 0. So this is the smallest I get because if I further minus 5, then I'll get minus 5, which is a negative integer. But we want the smallest possible non-negative integer. So that's why 0 is the smallest possible non-negative integer. Similarly, from 20, and I have to do for 20, my second number becomes 10. So for 20, I can just subtract 10, which is 10. Again, I can subtract 10, and I'll get 0. So again, 0 is my non-negative integer. For 30, I can subtract, my 20 is the integer, so I subtracted 20, then I'll get 10, and if I further subtract 20, then I'll get minus 10, so we cannot do that, and hence 10 is the smallest non-negative integer. Or otherwise, for my 40, if I subtract 30, then again I get 10, and I cannot go further from 10, right? Because it will be a negative number. So now, these are the final configurations after doing my first and second step. Now, after each business find the smallest negative integer, all of them add their smallest non-negative integers. So now I have to add all these values. So nothing but 0 plus 10 plus 10, which is nothing but 20, right? And then if now the addition is a composite number, then they'll successfully got the access, otherwise not. So my 20 is a composite number, and that's why they got the access for the particular password, and hence in the test case it is printed access granted. So yeah, this is the idea behind the particular problem. Now let's see how we can approach this problem. So firstly, one basic observation that you can have is this subtracting of two numbers, say my a comma b, till my smallest non-negative integer is achieved. This is nothing but in concept of number theory, it is a modulo b, right? So what is the remainder when a is left? What is the remainder of a is left when a gets divided by b, right? So that is nothing but subtracting n times with the quotient. So basically with the concepts of number theory, we can deduce that the operation performed is nothing but a modulo b. So the question gets transformed into I have elements of four array. So basically I have a1, a2, a3, a4, and then similarly I have my b1, b2, b3, b4, and I have to find out. So basically the smallest non-negative number is nothing but my a1 mod b1, comma A2 mod B2, comma, and so on up till A4 mod B4, right? And then, according to the question, I have to simply take the sum of these and check whether the resultant number is a composite number or a prime number. So, if it is a composite number, then they successfully got the axis, otherwise, they did not get the axis. So, this becomes the approach to solve this particular problem. Now, let us see how we can code this approach. Okay, now let us try to understand the code for the following problem. So here I included all my necessary header files. Then my boolean is compute is composite is nothing but to check whether the number is composite or prime. So basically this function just checks whether the number is composite or prime using a simple square root of traversal in our number theory, right? So basically if any of the divisors of that particular number exists, then that means that that number is a composite number, otherwise it's a prime number. So we return true if the number is a composite number, otherwise we return false if it's a prime number, right? Then my main function, I use this to increase the speed of the code and to decrease the runtime of the following algorithm. Then for my t test cases, I inputted t according to the input format. Then as I discussed, I have my array of 4 elements because there are only 4 persons given in the question, so I can simply input my a and b array according to the input format. Then I initialize my sum as 0 because we had to calculate the sum after doing those operations, which was nothing but ai mod bi for the entire range of 4, right? So we traverse for each and every person and we calculate the smallest non-negative integer by doing ai mod bi, and then we just increment those values in our sum, and then we check if our sum is composite or not. So if our sum is composite, then we can simply print access granted, otherwise we can print access denied according to the algorithm, right? So let us run our code on the sample test cases to understand whether everything is working correctly or not. Okay, so as you can see, we got the access granted, which is correct. Now let us submit our code on the actual test cases to see whether it passes everything or not. Okay, so as you can see, we got the correct answer for the following test case, and yes, this becomes a valid approach to solve this problem. Okay, now let me discuss what people could do wrong in this particular problem. So here, you had to follow step by step notation for that particular problem. The only thing you wanted to understand was the operation in the question was ai mod bi. Like the smallest non-negative integer was nothing but ai mod bi. And then we can just simply calculate the sum and get the answer. So there's nothing too much complicated in this question. So that's why if the logic and the understanding was understood in this particular problem, I don't think anywhere else in this problem people could make mistakes. So this is the learning you get from my video. I hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.